Hi, this is Nick McClellan again with After Hours Productions, looking at the presonus Studio Live 1602, and we are now going to talk about the compressor, the high pass, and the gate on an individual channel. So first thing you do is you select what channel you're working on. The high pass filter is how much you want the low end to be attenuated and what you want it to be done. So like if I set it at 75 by turning this left or turning it right, I increase or decrease. Most microphones you can set between 75 and 100 hertz to roll off, you know, the plosives as I call them, the low end frequencies of the microphone. And you turn this on by going to the individual channel and selecting the mic on and then turning the shelf on. And by doing that, it enables you to turn the high pass filter on for that particular one. So as I select this, you'll see the high pass is on, and now I press the shelf. And so that would be how I would set it, and this particular one is set for 100 hertz. The next thing on is the gate. A gate is where one microphone sitting next to another microphone, the secondary microphone is picking up the sound that the primary microphone should be picking up. Normally this is used on drums, like you have Tom 1 and Tom 2 sitting next to each other. You hit Tom 1, but Tom 2 mic is picking it up. So what you would do is you would turn the gate on for Tom 2, and then you would come up and you would set the gate at what point you want it to not allow the sound to come through until it gets to a level that you want it to be at. So if I set this at, say, -24, any sound that is softer than -24, this mic is not going to hear it because I've told it not to pick it up. If I turn this all the way down to -84, which is any sound, it's as though the gate's not even turned on. It's going to let every sound come through. As I come all the way up to the top, almost to 0 dB, this mic is almost completely turned off. So for one tom to another tom, you might want to set it somewhere around -24 so that when you hit Tom 1, Tom 2 mic doesn't pick it up. But when you hit Tom 2, it will be louder than -24 and it will allow the sound to pass. So that's the gate, that's the high pass. Now let's move over to the compression section. The compression section is exactly what it's talking about, being able to compress a sound, to keep it within a range where it's not too soft and it's not too loud to do damage to the speakers or creating distortion. The way we do this is through the use of the compression threshold, ratio, response, and gain. The threshold says at what level do you want this compressor to kick in. You can notice on this particular vocal mic we have it set at about -20. So when the sound gets to -20, it's going to begin compressing it, which means it's going to make the louder passages softer. And in the ratio we have it set right now is 3:1. Probably going to come down a little bit softer than that because I have it picking up at such a low level. We're going to use a little less compression on this. So by having a 2:1 ratio for each one part that it goes over, or each two parts that it goes over, it's going to give you one part of reduction. So this would be a light compression. And by setting the attack or the response at a 6, it's going to be much smoother. It's not going to sound like it's breathing by coming on and off. And that's a nice little feature to have. Then ultimately would be the output. This would be utilized in the event here where you were compressing the louder passages but you wanted the softer passages to be loud. You would compress the top end by putting the compression ratio at a lower level, like here with the -20, and then you would gain the overall output, which would therefore make the softer passages louder and the louder passages softer. And of course this must be done by turning the compressor on. Now if you are completely new to compressors and you have no idea how to set it yourself or what to do, you can always use the auto feature, which would then do an auto gating or an auto compression on the signal as it gets to a certain level. The limit feature just protects your sound system, protects your speakers. You just set this or turn it on and it's preconceived to be a certain level so that it does not blow your speakers. Alrighty, so now we've covered high pass, gates, compressors, and limiters. Look for the other videos which talked about equalization as well as your auxiliaries. One last feature I'll go ahead and cover in this particular one, and that is your phantom power. If you have a condenser mic and you need to turn the phantom power on, when you've selected the channel here, you can press this and now phantom power would be on that. You use phantom power for condenser mics and direct boxes. That gives you an idea. Again, this is Nick McClellan with After Hours Productions.